All right, my name is Gabriel Halpern. I'm the founder and director of the Yoga Circle. Began in 1985. So I'm thrilled to say we've been in business for 29 years, almost 29 years now. I got into yoga in the late 60s when I was an acting major at Queens College in New York City. And my journey took me to California, where I lived near a college in Marin County and got first involved with Kundalini Yoga, Yogi Bhajan. Was my first teacher, and that got me into personal discipline and changing my lifestyle, changing my diet, changing what media I put in myself. Originally was motivated for a couple of reasons. First, I hurt my back when I was younger, so I was looking for something to help me, even though I played contact sports through high school and college and could have injured myself really severely, but I was kind of a macho in my own way when I was younger. And really glad that I got diagnosed poorly by the osteopath, because if I would have been recommended to have a surgery, that would have changed my life in such a way I can't imagine now what would have happened, but I didn't. And so fortunately, I had low-grade irritation and I just kept on going. And then I found my way to yoga, and I had major relief from some of my back issues, but not a perfect cure, but at least it got me on the way. And then in 1976, I moved to Florida, and I met my first Iyengar teacher, and that was really the shift or change in my life path that I've continued to pursue till this day. That's when I became influenced by the teachings of B.K.S. Iyengar, probably one of the world's foremost authorities on yoga, hatha yoga, and especially therapeutic yoga, which has been the main focus of my own personal journey and what I've tried to share with other people. I really believe that I've learned the difference between perceived limitations and actual limitations. And for almost every person, you can challenge that edge, that boundary of what you think you can do, and most of the time it's much, much further under correct guidance to realize your potential that's lying fallow and just waiting for the right opportunity and technique and person who you have the rapport with who can guide you safely. So in the next 11 years, I took many classes and workshops with senior teachers from the Iyengar tradition, and they were all good, they were all different, and they all swore that it's not us, you have to give credit to Mr. Iyengar. So it took me 11 years before I went to India for the first time, and when I met him, I realized the significance of his teaching and the impact he was going to have on my life, because he certainly knew more than any other teacher I had studied with. But what was amazing about him, he wasn't just an armchair quarterback. He didn't just talk the game. He could demonstrate in his body what it was he wanted you to do, and that was a very powerful teaching, because yoga, after all, is an experiential discipline. And you got to experiment on yourself, but it's an experiential discipline. And when I saw him in the therapeutic classes, working with all these body types that had such different ailments than the Western students, because the Indian population to a great degree is not as well nourished in a certain way, and they don't have as many resources available for their medical expenses. And so what he was able to do with bodies that we would consider the underserved of our community, and you know that we don't give a lot of resources to the people who can't pay for it. So that was a marvelous thing to see, the amount of variations that you could teach people and the low cost that you could bring to it. And so from that day forward, and I really was on a different path, and now here I am, like 26, 27 years later, continuing that in my own way, except one of my stock phrases when I was younger was, I've been looking for the ritual elder my whole life, and now I'm turning into the ritual elder. So now I am the ritual elder of my community, and spend a lot of time trying to empower younger men and women to come after me and get some of the things that I didn't get. And similar to what I've learned from my teacher, you don't have to suffer in the same way or wander about without the guidance as I did in a certain way till I met my teacher.